Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in today. Last week I was a bit under the weather, as you can hear from the last week's episode on the top 10 healthiest cities. I was a bit nasally, so I was a bit under the weather, but I am back. All right, and so today's topic, I want to talk about inflammatory foods. All right. But before we get started, I would like for you to go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Now, today I don't have a quote for you, but I do have a fun fact for you that I like to share. So did you know about ginger? Did you know this about ginger, that it contains a compound called gingerol? Now, I myself didn't even know that. So gingerol is a compound with anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. So this can help combat inflammation and promote better health. So I just wanted to share that with you. I knew about ginger, but I didn't know the actual compound in a ginger itself, gingerol. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Why do so many people have like chronic inflammation, right? We know that a lot of it stems from the food we eat, right? And we can say some things are hereditary, right? But mainly it is from the things that we eat, because we can change things, even if it's hereditary. We can change some of those things, right? Maybe not all, but we can change it based on lifestyle. So, but there are foods that are very highly inflammatory, and you really want, if you suffer from chronic inflammation, you want to try to minimize your use of these items that I'm going to go over with you. All right, and the first one is being artificial trans fats or vegetable oils, right? So your vegetable oils and seeds oils, such as soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, things of that nature, and even some of your hydrogenated margarines, right? You'll want to avoid those artificial trans fats and those oils, because what happens is they contain a lot of omega-6. Now, there's been research on this, and they find that what we're doing now, many of the foods we eat contain a lot of omega-6s. So what happened is that the body is having more omega-6 than omega-3s. And so when we have an overconsumption of it, it produces inflammation. All right, it produces inflammation. So we want to try to use better other oils instead of those hydrogenated oils and trans fats oil. So maybe avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, I said avocado oil, and grapeseed oil. That's the one I was trying to think of. Grapeseed oil. All right, so you probably want to look at changing the oils. Look at the oils that you use, okay? Another one is refined carbohydrates, right? And those are foods such as the white flour, bread and pastries. You want to try and avoid those things, because what happens is it spikes your blood sugar levels and it can increase inflammation. All right. So you want to avoid those refined carbs. Okay. So, and another one would be that's on the list is excessive alcohol. Okay. Excessive alcohol. So high consumption of alcohol can cause inflammation. Okay. And also, that alcohol turns to sugar, right? And so, but what happens is overconsumption, consuming a lot of alcohol, you know this already, not only does it cause liver damage, but it can also cause damage to the gut lining, okay? And you know that cirrhosis of the liver, there's no cure for it, right? And that's particularly for people who do excessive drinking, right? So you want to manage your alcohol consumption. All right. Processed meats, processed meats, right? Processed meats, as we know, they contain a lot of preservatives, such as nitrates, right? So your deli meats, things of that. If you're gonna get processed meats, you do want to ask them if they have the ones that don't contain nitrates. Now, I don't know what other substitute they can be using in form of that, because of course I'm sure they probably added some type of preservative, right? But nitrates itself, right, is a type of food preservative, and it has been linked to cancer. All right, it has been linked to cancer. All right, so processed meats, you want to avoid those. Factory farmed meat. All right, factory farm meats. And those are the ones, of course, that they are not fed their natural foods of what they would have. They're fed, the genetically modified corn, and like the cattle, they're fed grains rather than natural grass, right? And so if you're going to buy beef, grass-fed beef, right? And you still, even with that, even with the red meat, such as beef and lamb, you want to really limit your consumption of that, because red meat has also been linked to cancer, right? It has also been linked to cancer. All right. And so anything you want to know, all you have to do is do your research, and you can find what I'm saying to you is science-based, evidence-based. Okay. And now the next one is gluten. All right. So gluten, as you know, is a food ingredient, and many people have a sensitivity to gluten, such as people with celiac disease. Okay. But not only just gluten. Now, gluten, where can gluten be found? It can be found in wheat, barley, and even rye bread. It can trigger that inflammatory response. So, but even people who don't have a gluten sensitivity can experience having some type of issues, or when it comes to gluten and weight gain. All right. So now the next one is artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, these things, it can disrupt the gut microbiome, right? And can lead to inflammation. All right. And so aspartame could be found in diet sodas and sugar-free products. And actually, they say that the sugar-free sodas, diet sodas, they're actually worse than the regular soda. Okay. They're actually worse than the regular soda. So you'll want to avoid those sodas altogether, right? I know you love it. I know some people love it. But if you can, you want to try to avoid it as much as possible. What about, now I mentioned artificial sweeteners, right? But what about dairy, right? Dairy products can cause inflammation. We know that milk forms mucus, right? We know this already. Dairy products such as milk and cheese are mucus producing, and so they can cause inflammation. All right. And not only that, for people who are lactose intolerant, who cannot drink cow's milk, you know that it can cause diarrhea, excessive gas, things of that nature. All right. So already went over alcohol. But the next one that I want to discuss is sugar. Okay. So sugar, uh, all these types of sugars. Now, it's labeled in so many different ways. You want to avoid all these different types of sugars, maltose, dextrose, high fructose, especially that high fructose corn syrup. You want to avoid those things as possible. You want to go with more natural types of sugar, right? Natural types of date sugar, right? Maybe like dates, something like agave, right? The natural type of sweetener that you can use, as opposed to these other types of sugars.
Ladies, do you find yourself caught in the daily grind, juggling between the demands of your career and personal life? Do you dream of thriving both professionally and personally in 2024, but feel overwhelmed by the constant struggle? I understand the challenges you face, and that's why I'm thrilled to invite you to join the 5-day Radiant Soul Challenge. Picture this: a life where you have the secrets to not only survive, but thrive in both your career and personal space. The Radiant Soul Challenge is designed for women just like you, ready to break free from the chains of stress and achieve optimal health. Here's why you should be a part of this exclusive experience. Learn the secrets to thrive both professionally and personally in 2024. Discover actionable insights that will propel you towards success in your career while maintaining a fulfilling personal life. Create more work-life balance for better optimal health. Uncover strategies to strike the perfect balance between your personal aspirations and your well-being, ensuring that you're at the top of your game without sacrificing your health. Implement proven strategies for stress management and productivity skills. Say goodbye to stress overload. Acquire practical techniques that boost your productivity and keep stress at bay, empowering you to excel in your career with ease. Don't miss this chance to embark on a soulful journey. Join the 5-day Radiant Soul Challenge and redefine your path to success. Click the link below and secure your spot in the 5-day Radiant Soul Challenge now. Your thriving future awaits. Hope to see you there.
Right? So you want to avoid those as much as possible. And so why do we want to do that? Why do we want to avoid a lot of sugar? Well, I'll tell you. All right, so we want to avoid a lot of sugar for various reasons. So sugar can increase your risk of obesity due to its calorie content, its high calorie content. And of course, like I said, weight gain, when sugar is consumed in large amounts, increase the overall calorie intake. Another thing that sugar does, it increases your risk for heart disease. All right, so it increases your risk to heart disease due to its potential to raise your blood pressure, right? And increasing inflammation, and then puts you at risk for heart disease. Also, sugar, of course, as you know, with type 2 diabetes, it increases your chance for getting a type 2 diabetes. So excessive amounts of sugar can not only lead to obesity, but it can lead you to run the risk factor of getting type 2 diabetes, right? And insulin resistance. Cancer is another one, right? So cancer is another one. And they're saying that some studies have suggested that with high doses of sugar can increase certain types of cancer, possibly due to insulin resistance and inflammation, as well as obesity. Liver disease is another one, right? Liver disease. So excessive intake of fructose, right, which is a type of sugar, a form of sugar, right, can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, right? And that's a condition characterized by excessive fat buildup in the liver. Another thing that excessive sugar does causes dental problems, right? It's the leading cause of dental decay and cavities. Also, in addition to that, bacteria buildup in the mouth feeds on sugar, producing acids that erode the tooth enamel. So yeah, you want to watch the sugar. All right. And another one is accelerated skin aging, right? Accelerated skin aging. And you know what? And as I'm sitting here talking about it, when it says accelerated skin aging, think about people who drink excessive alcohol. Don't they look a lot older than their age? I'm talking about excessive drinkers, right? Who consume alcohol. Just look at their skin. Remember, I talked about the episode on what your skin health, what your skin says about you, right? Look at their skin. So yeah, there's some truth to that. Definitely, I believe that. So there is definitely some truth to that with the aging skin. So they're talking about glycation end products. It said because it can damage collagen and elastin proteins that keeps the skin firm and elastic, leading to premature wrinkles and skin sagging. All right. So just watch your excessive drinking when it comes to alcohol, right? Okay. So what they're saying about sugar, increased risk of depression, right? Diets high processed foods have been linked to higher risk of developing depression, possibly due to how sugar can impact inflammation and the neurotransmitters dysregulation. Okay. So also sugar can cause energy crashes, right? Remember those spikes in your blood sugar, right? It spikes up really quickly and then boom, crash, energy crash, right? So sugar, it can provide that quick burst of energy, but it's also followed by a sharp drop in sugar levels, leading to that feeling of tiredness and lethargy. All right. And so another thing they don't have on here is increasing your risk of chance of dementia. Okay. The chances of dementia. Now, there have been some studies that shows the link between Alzheimer's, dementia, and sugar. So according to NIH, which is the National Institute of Health, they're saying that a higher percent of calories from sugar were positively associated with dementia. All right. So this is what they're saying. All right, and I've done another study. I researched another one, another study that I found too, showing that the link between sugar, high consumption of sugar, and dementia. Okay, because you know about dementia, that there's plaques that forms in the brain, right? And it's from these proteins, right? These tau proteins, right? The plaques and tangles. So we want to reduce our chances of developing Alzheimer's and dementia. It's a horrible disease, and we want to just make sure that we're doing everything we can to just live a long, sustainable life. So what are some of the things that we can do to reduce inflammation overall? All right, because chronic inflammation is not good. Chronic inflammation can lead to all of these things that I just mentioned to you, right? Heart disease, diabetes, stroke, all of these things. Chronic inflammation can have an impact on your overall wellness, right? So some of the things that we can do, some of the things that we can do in addition to exercise food-wise, right? Food-wise that we can have, some of those things contain having nuts and seeds, right? Nuts and seeds such as walnuts, almonds, all right? Brazil nuts. You can try having some of those things, all right? Another thing is simple things such as turmeric, right? You know, it contains the curcumin in the turmeric. Try having some turmeric. If you season your food with turmeric, I don't know if you like the Caribbean spice, or I should say Indian spice, because that's where it originates from. But having turmeric or having turmeric shots, try putting turmeric in your orange juice, right? And have a little black pepper. You can even add a little bit of cinnamon in there if you want to. But just try different things that's going to help you reduce that inflammation, right? Dark berries. Dark berries is another one, such as blueberries. I love blueberries. Even strawberries. It's not on the darker berry, but even strawberries is very good for you. Raspberries. These things are rich in antioxidants and flavonoids that you can have, which has been proven to have anti-inflammatory effects. Okay? Dark leafy greens such as spinach, collard greens, kale, Swiss chard. They contain a lot of nutrient-dense vitamins and minerals that we need and can possess anti-inflammatory properties. I mentioned already about extra virgin olive oil, avocado, okay? It's the good fat, avocado, okay? Extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, right? And coconut oil contains hyaluronic acid, right? So there's so many things that are out there that are good for you. Berries, fruits, vegetables, dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, all right? All of it. Color your plate. Think of it like this. Just color your plate, right? When you're having a hard time trying to figure out, well, what should I add to, how can I add more healthier foods? Just think about coloring your plate, right? Add some greens, okay? Add some salad, add some fruit. Color your plate, all right? So we want to do that, and on top of all of that with the chronic inflammation, right? These foods that can, chronic inflammation. Remember stress management, right? Managing our stress. Remember, you want to at least get 90 minutes of working out a week, right? And that's not a lot, right? So even if you tried to get 15 minutes of walking in a day, 15 minutes of walking, 15 minutes of exercise a day, all right? You can help improve your lifestyle just by doing that alone. Exercising, along with eating right, having a healthier lifestyle, right? Consuming healthy, nutrient-dense foods, okay? That is all I have for you for now. Until next time, bye for now.
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow, feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.